All right, all right, all right, all right. I'm gonna try and act natural, you guys. I'm really gonna try, because this is gonna be really hard. We've got an amazing guest here, and I'm gonna, play it cool, get all the craziness out right now. Woo! um, whew. Let's go into comments. Okay, good. I got that. Okay. All right, let's do this, people. Let's do this. Do you guys all got your questions too? Because you guys probably know, I've watched him probably at least 2 or 3 years on and off, So, but now I've been he probably saw my comments on at least 5 to 10 of his videos recently, and he's probably like, "Oh God." So I've got. Let's see. Okay, Timothy. Before you breathe, you have your chance at hurry up and jumping off, because I got some questions. Can you hear me? Okay. All right. Look, I got 1 page front and back, 2 page front and back. That ain't bad, right? That ain't bad. Other people have had more. So, without further ado, let's bring him out. Yeehaw! Score!
Hello.
Oh my God, this is so amazing. Thank you so much. I really so appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
Oh my God.
Good to be here. Blessed to be here. Thank you.
Oh my God. I need to stop. So how's your day been? I was on your live a little bit.
Oh, my day was good. Slept in, lunch with a friend, live streamed. So, now here. So it's a good day.
Awesome. Now, this is just to help me and the other people on here learn more about you if they don't know a whole lot about you or whatever, or they probably know more about you than I do. So maybe this is just for me. How's that?
That works.
Okay. So, let me see if I can look professional here. All right. For people on here that don't know your channel, can you explain or sum it up to them in a sentence?
My channel is about freedom.
Bam! He did it! Woo! He scored!
Made it through the first question. Okay.
Okay. So, all right. How long? I'm not even in the picture here. You can tell I'm doing this on an old school laptop where I gotta get the camera just right. Tito, stay still. Okay. How long after watching YouTube did you get a channel going? And why was that important for you to make one?
I was one of kind of the earlier people on YouTube, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I got on YouTube 2010 maybe.
I was on 2007.
Yeah. So that's still pretty kind of like OG stuff.
Oh yes.
So, you know what I mean?
Yes.
That's back then. And honestly, back then we just viewed YouTube, I feel like, as like another platform to just share stuff. So it was to me, it was like a Facebook account. I just thought that my friends would follow me, and instead of posting pictures, I would post videos.
Right.
So for me, there never was a concept of what YouTube is now, So it was just I wish I had this amazing, because people ask me this a lot, and I'm like, dang, I wish I had a real good story of why I got started on YouTube. But it really was I was okay, here's another, social media was still kind of new, so I was here's another platform. Let me just I love to talk, so let me just put some videos up. I think my first videos were about comic books. Like it just was, it was just something to do. And then
Uh-huh.
fast forward some years when I started seeing, when I started the channel I have now, because my first channel was another channel. I just kind of started to see fairly what YouTube could become, but more importantly, like the community that kind
Mhm.
of could be built on YouTube. And that was when I really started to, I started the channel I have now and kind of really started to talk about what I felt were meaningful topics, as
Mhm.
opposed to comic books, which are cool. I wanted to start talking about minimalism. That was the main topic in the beginning, was minimalism, because weren't a lot of people talking about it. And it also did so much for me that I was kind of just like moved to make a channel
Mhm.
and talk about it.
Yeah, that's how I got on all of this. Like trying to save money and going on Pinterest, and then I got a hold of the minimalism stuff, and then I got a hold of like the tiny house stuff. But then I'm looking at a tiny house and going, Tina, you can't build that. Tina, you can't haul that. Tina, you can't put that on any you no. And then it started showing me like different tiny house options, like like vans and whatever and different things. And I'm like, oh well, that's more my speed. So
I was
yeah.
the same way. I was the same way with the tiny house movement. Like before it was
Yeah.
a fad, I was watching the videos, but like you, I was like, yeah, I don't think that's me.
Yeah. I'm like,
That's
Tina, be real. Tina, be real. Be real with yourself. Do you really see yourself hauling that down a freeway? No.
and it just
You
seemed the
got to be
cost to get,
real, right? You have
yeah,
to be
yeah, and
real.
the cost to get into it was so high. I'm
Yeah.
like,
And I'm like, I can't build one.
20 grand to build a tiny house? Ah,
Yeah. Yep. That's what me and you were thinking about the same stuff like that. Yep. Okay. So was it, so you kind of already answered this, but maybe you can go in a little bit depth and more depth to it. Was it always motivation for you, or did you start with other things on your channel first? See, you already answered this question.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm answering questions before you ask them. No, I'm joking.
Yes.
I'm joking. Yeah, like the on my other channel, it was comic books, and then I had worked in the oil rigs in North Dakota, so I did some videos on that, and the oil rig videos were my first videos that kind of blew up. Like they were getting hundreds of thousands of views um, years ago,
Mhm.
and but I stopped doing those because I have issues with that now. It's anyway. We won't get into that. But I really didn't plan on changing what I was doing the videos on. But I
Mhm.
noticed that like I would do 5 comic book videos, and then I would slide in like a minimalism. This is what my life is about now video, and
Mhm.
then my before videos, and then I'd slide, and then I realized I'm like, oh, like this is taking me over, and it kind of got to the point where it was like this other stuff means something.
Mhm.
The comic books are fun, but
Yeah.
it's just like, and I started getting a response. Surprisingly, some of the people who followed me in my content for comic books liked the other stuff too. They liked the real life stuff too, and that surprised me. And I'm like, and it felt better when someone commented and was like, "Oh man, that's deep what you said about minimalism, blah blah blah," than when they were like, "Oh, you got a Batman number 257." That's what I mean. Like I started just getting that good feeling of this is actually helping people. And I think
Right.
that was like the big reason I kind of transitioned. And then, once I got really into minimalism and sold all my comic books and hit the road traveling,
Was that
there
hard?
really was,
Be
hmm?
honest. Was that hard selling all your comic books?
It was hard, but it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be,
Really?
if that makes any sense. Like it
Okay.
was hard, but
Did you go
I
to
did
any
it
of the
kind of,
comic shows and get stuff autographed and have to get rid of that too?
I had some good books. We had some, I had a collection I was proud of. It was weird. I tell people probably the hardest part is that, and this is what's so like scary about possessions, is your possessions can start to become a part of you.
Mm-hmm.
And so like part of your identity is wrapped up in your possession. And that's how I was with the comic books. So like some of those books were the things that when I was going through a bad day, I'd be like, well, I got this book, or I got that. You know what I mean? Like my identity was wrapped up in them. So that was kind of the hard part. But once I got over that, and I saw the money like I was making selling them, and I was like, oh, this will fund my travel. This will, I can go to the dentist now. Like I can eat out. Like it got a little easier. So it was hard. But I did it kind of in stages. I got rid of the books I didn't really care about. Then I got rid of the really cheap books, and then I got rid of some of the pricier, but not the price. And so I just kind of did it in stages so that like it never was just that you have to get rid of everything. And I told myself the whole time, if there's any book you want to keep, you can keep. But as the process went on, I just kind of got rid of, I think there was like 10 of them I kept. And they weren't pricey books. They weren't the real key expensive issues. They were books that just kind of really meant something to me. Mm-hmm. And I kept those, I think, for a couple of years. And even them, eventually, I was like, you know what?
Well, I'd be in trouble because I got probably about 30 books that I could say I got. No. I got Ted Nugent autograph. I got Nikki Sixx autograph. I got all kinds of stuff autographed. I'm like, there's no way. Albums. I have albums autographed. I mean, I was going to meetups and meeting bands and getting all kind of autographs and doing this. And I'm like, how am I going to do this? So yeah, I'm still.
Which I think that's my definition of minimalism is always like living with what you need and a little more.
Me too.
So like that's why I'm a big believer in like there's nothing you have to get rid of. I think I watch a lot of minimalism videos and they're very 10 possessions, 3 shirts, but they're very hardcore with it. And I'm like, I don't think that's minimalism. I think minimalism is identifying this is what I need to live with, this is the basics. And here's my fun stuff. Here's my extra stuff. And I don't think anybody can put a number or on any of that because, like you said, you're the one who went out and went to the concerts and went to play. Like that means something to you. So like, if you want to hold on to that, fine. Like no one can tell you. Like,
I'm just gonna get a smaller storage unit. I'm just gonna get something for my albums and for my books and my photo albums. With being in with loving taking pictures and all that since I was like 10. So you can imagine how many photo albums I have. And then I went, and then I was meeting, like people and interviewing bands when I was like 14, 15 years old. So now you understand why I asked you to be interviewed. I'm just carrying it on to YouTube now. I'm like, one day I'm going to meet you in person, but at least for now, I can at least say hi to you on YouTube. So yeah, it's like, I'm on here. So that's cool. Okay. All right. Do you do more lives or videos on your channel? And what's your favorite lives? What's your favorite live streams or to make the videos?
I definitely now do more live streams just because it's less work.
Easier. I was gonna say easier.
Yeah, it's easier. I could just turn the camera on and start talking, and it might show I'm kind of long-winded. So it's like the perfect like gig for me to just turn the camera on and talk and get interaction and get that love from the people tuning in. So these days I do more of those because a video there's so much that goes into a video. I'm always telling people like anyone who makes content knows if people saw the behind the scenes and all the things you go through to get a good video out, like they would be like, wow, so like I love making videos. And it's one of my happy places when I got a video made and I'm like shooting a walking talk or I'm editing. Like that's a happy place for me as well. But these days, it's just easier to live stream. And I'm kind of trying to get to the place where when I drop a video, it's something special. Like it's a topic I want to talk about. I've done a good job of, editing and, whereas in the past, I'll admit, I used to phone some videos in. But now, so yeah, but I like them both. I mean, I just love the process of content creation and interacting. So yeah, I feel so blessed to like have these opportunities because I just love them both.
I'm so glad that you agreed to come on someone's channel that you didn't even know probably nothing about. You're probably like, who is this? Who is she?
I checked your channel out. I checked you out.
Did you?
I did. Yeah, I checked
What'd
you
you
out.
think?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
God.
I'm here. Like, no. I was like, you know what? I want to do this. I want to do this. She seems like a very genuine, like down to earth, real person. I was like, those are the people I like
Oh,
in
cool.
life. So I was like, I'm gonna do it. It'll be fun.
All right, cool. Okay. So what made you, I saw like you were going through things in your life for different parts of your life or whatever. So when you stopped doing, the whatever you were doing, like the drinking or whatever, what made you change your life around? Like, what was your final straw in like saying, I'm gonna do better for myself and do different things? And what was the things you started doing? And was it
Okay.
really hard? And how long did it take?
I'll answer two different
Okay.
answers to that, two different times.
Okay.
Because the first one was when I decided to like hit the road, start being nomadic, and I decided to shift my life from, which I had a good life, but it just wasn't the life that was fulfilling me. So that was when I just decided to go from like the 9 to 5, stay in one place life to like travel. And I think
People
it
are
was
asking
just,
for a link for your channel. So as you're talking, I'm going to put a link on your channel for them.
oh, okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I had a good life, but it just wasn't for me. And once I discovered minimalism, I was coming home to an empty apartment and just felt so light and so free. And, once again, selling all my comic books and not buying a bunch of stuff. I had money in the bank for the first time, kind of. I always kind of had savings, but now I'm like, oh, I got some decent money. And I realized I didn't have to keep living the life I was living. Like before, it seemed like I had to just to pay the bills, the upkeep. It was just like this never-ending cycle. So for the first time, I was like 35 at the time. It was the first time I was like, oh, I don't have to keep living this life. I could do something different. First time I felt like that freedom, that opportunity. And I've been watching a lot of videos, tiny house, van dwelling, people doing stuff. And I was kind of getting that vibe. And I was like, I don't have to keep living this life. And then I was like, well, what do you want to do? And that was the first time I really asked myself that, took the time to listen. And I was like, I want to travel. And I was like, well, we don't have a ton of money. Is that even a thing? But from seeing so many other people living their dreams and watching their videos, I was like, well, we can look into it. Like, at least we can do is Google it.
What people were you watching then?
What
people were you watching then to get that wanting to be an interest for you?
It's been a minute. Who was I watching? A lot of them, like, it's been so long. Like, a lot of them don't even make content anymore.
Yeah.
I can't remember the ones who really. I do remember there was a channel called The Real Wayne's World, and he was the guy who introduced me to seasonal work. So I always remember that channel. Always shout him out, because when I Googled how to travel with no money, like somehow I found his video. I think he done a video about that.
Do you ever watch Rob Greenfield?
Yes. Yeah, I watch Rob. Yeah, Rob is hardcore. When he says no money, Rob means like no money.
He burns it. He burnt his social security card. He burnt his passport. He ripped up his driver's license. I'm like, are you insane?
Rob is hardcore. He was. I seen a video, a article, and he was like eating out the dumpster. I said, oh, this guy is legit. It's good food. I was like, this guy is
Did you
legit.
see him putting on the bags, and every time he would eat out, he would put that in his bags and carry it around, because he was trying to teach everybody about your waste. Your waste does go somewhere. And that stuck with me. I go through that. I recycle like crazy, and I try and not buy so much like plastic and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I was
That's a
watching.
good visual. That's a good visual. Now I'm thinking about, yeah. So, yeah, that was a time where it just was, I wanted something different. That guy, the real Wayne's World, discovered his videos, and found out about seasonal work, and I did that for years and years and years. I actually left a seasonal job just in February, but yeah. So, and as far as the drinking, because even when I was doing that, I was still drinking and partying and
Okay.
getting pretty crazy sometimes. That just came down to, you get to a certain age, it just was so much bad behavior. The hangovers got worse, the blackouts got worse. Um, it just that got to a point where it was, and I remember this occasion. I was sitting, I had an RV at the time. I was sitting in the kitchen of my RV, staring at the fridge because there was no beer in the fridge, and I was like, I'm gonna walk up to the store and get beer, and I was like, but I don't want to, and I just had this moment of, I was like, Tim, either you're gonna have to accept that everything you do drunk is you, or you're gonna have to quit. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, if you can embrace that all the fights and the car crashes and the, you know, ruined relationships and, arrest and all that, if you can
Mm-hmm.
embrace that all that is the actual Timothy Ward, you can keep drinking and we won't bother you ever again. Because I've been trying to quit off and on. But I was like, if you can't, the only way we're ever going to be able to know who like the real Timothy Ward is you get this monkey off your back and stop drinking. And I couldn't accept. I couldn't. I remember sitting there. I'm like, nah, that's not me. That's the so like from that moment. And there were still ups and downs, but that was the moment where I was like, I'm done with this. And then it was just a matter of working the process. 3 months, 3 weeks sober, then you fall off for a day. 2 months sober, you fall off for a week. But eventually got to the point where I was finally able to. I think I did a year and a half, fell off for a little bit, but eventually was able to just get it, quit it. It's been like 3.5 years now.
Oh,
But
that's
it
good.
was just kind of one of those moments of after 15 plus years of dealing with this thing, it was just,
Mm-hmm.
I was done. I was
That's
just,
good.
I had to get it out of my life. And that's another thing I feel so blessed about is like, some days I look back at
That's
my old
awesome.
life and it seems like another life.
Yeah,
I'm just
that's
like, that
awesome.
was me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. That I mean, I come from a long list of, my whole family was either doing, they're mainly alcoholics, but they were also experimenting in other stuff. So it's like, it's like so I looked at all of them and saw how crazy their lives were. I was like, nope, I don't want that. Nope, I don't want that. Nope, I don't want that. I don't want that neither. I don't want, no, no, no. So I turned into the boring person in my family, and the Tina's the outsider. See, I'm the outsider because I never fit in with all the other people, because I was always like, I don't want to do that. I don't like the feeling. I don't like the money spent. I don't like what it does to you. Yeah. So yeah.
That's good. That's good. I came from a family where like nobody did anything. So I
Really?
had to like figure out by myself. Like me and one of my sisters were the two that were like, okay, y'all don't do nothing. We gonna see what this is about. So I was the
Oh.
exact
So,
opposite,
so
but
you
I
were
learned.
mainly curious. Did
I was just like, the whole life, like
you
nobody.
have
I don't think
friends
I've
do
ever.
it?
That like once I
Peer pressure?
started like drinking it, like growing up, no, all my friends were no, but like I was never around anything like that. So when I got older and started like drinking and partying, I met people who did, but it was just like growing up, I don't even think I ever saw a can of beer in the house. You know what I mean? Like there was just nothing. Like there wasn't even really a discussion about it because it
Okay.
wasn't done. So like it kind of hit me hard because I never had the, hey, don't do that. I just went, oh, I guess that's, something we don't do, but I'm gonna try it. Had to learn the hard way with many things in my life, but I value the experience. I wouldn't change it for anything if I could.
Well, that's awesome. That's really good. It's always good to hear success stories, and just like my brother, he was real bad on the drugs and everything, and he couldn't break it. And even, I even gave him that Nikki Sixx book, The Life is Beautiful, and played him the CD. And I'm like, if this guy who has millions of dollars, he always had all his yes people around him, he had to get away from everybody and just do it himself and figure it out. It might have took him, a decade or what, or, like 10 years or whatever to figure it out, but he did. So he went from one addiction to like photography and music. He put all of that into his music and all that, all into his creativity. So I think that might also help people. So
yeah, it's once addiction gets a hold of you, it's hard. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why I like making content about it, because I'm like, if I can do any little thing to help in any way, because I honestly think it's one of the hardest things you can
it is
overcome in life, because it's like you fighting you. You know what I mean? Like so many other things are you fighting external forces or whatever, but addiction is a very strong part of you fighting against in the beginning, which is a very weak part of you. And so like it's tough, but it's doable. You know what I mean? You can conquer it. Like you said, so many people have different examples, but it's tough. It's a tough one. But it's a good experience when you come out the other side of it. And I really think, and I've seen this with a lot of other people who got sober, that now you suddenly feel like there's almost nothing you can't do, or very little you can't do, because it's like this job ain't bothering me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just, you know what I mean? So I think it's a good experience if you can come out the other side.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it is. I know my mom went from the drinking real bad to church. So you can imagine how fun my life was.
Oh, boy. Yeah. That sounds very fun.
Crap. Here one day she's flipping over in my bedroom mattress looking for her Jack Daniels bottle. And then the next day the next moment we're like at church and she's trying, like, can I just fall asleep over here for a little?
Yeah. I get you. Yeah, that sounds fun. That's nice.
So what are you looking for now in your life?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good one. I gotta see that. That's a good question. Honestly, more of the same. I enjoy my life now. I like myself. I like the space I'm in. I would just really love to continue to ride this train the way it is, with some growth in there and, pushing the envelope and pushing my comfort zone. But I'm loving, creating content, traveling, hanging out with my friends, just, trying to spread, love and positivity. I just want to level up with the things I'm already doing. That's really the space I'm in. And I feel it's like a great space because I don't feel like there's a lot of, I have goals, but most of them fall within the things I'm kind of already doing. So I don't feel a lot of pressure to which I think society puts on us a lot of times. We feel like we always got to be doing these different things that society says we have to be doing. But I just feel like a lot of that stuff I'm not tapped into. And I'm like, okay, I see how I want my life to be. I just have to make good decisions and continue to make good decisions and go for it, so.
Oh, that's all. Yeah. And you know what? Your channel, like when I get really sad and depressed over my situations, there's channels like you and Solo Sinclair. I don't know if you watch him, he's really good too. And other people that bring you up and say, you can do this. And I was there once, and you guys describe the kind of stuff that you guys go through, and that's why it means so much to people like me to try and watch you guys and go, okay, he did this. Okay, Tina, let's give it a try. So I mean, you're out there, and we're just out there going, hey, we're out here, thank you, type deal. We might not be able to send money or whatever, but hey, we're out here, we're watching your videos and we're liking and all that, but and it helps.
I'm always,
And it really does help when you kind of feel like you're at your wit's end, so thank you.
and
Okay,
that means that means like that's, and I always tell people the love, you know what I mean? We may not be in person with each other, but there's an exchange of energy. Like right now, there's an exchange of energy, exchange of love. And I always tell people like that is one of the biggest benefits. Like you can't. I think that's what, you know what I mean. Like to be able to make a video and have someone say, "Hey, that really meant something to me." There ain't nothing. There's very few things in the world bigger than that. You know what I mean? Like, and like I said, that's the reason you do it. Like it's not, the ad revenue is cool, but you know what I'm saying? Like yeah, I'll take it. But you know what I mean? Like to be able to like, hey, me just sitting in a room or a car somewhere, and to be able to maybe put a story out there that you know was trying for me and means something to me, and then just to be able to share it and it means something to someone else, and then they in turn do whatever they do with it, and now they have a story, and then they share that with somebody. It's just like this big, just snowball of love.
Right.
I like to say.
Well, see, that's
and
why
that's,
when I try and when I try and talk with people like you, I try and get people that I enjoy watching. And my channel is just a small little thing, and I don't even know what I'm really, halfway doing with it. I'm still trying to work on the minivan and all that stuff because I've been having trouble with that. But it helps too, because I've been homeless really for 2 years now, and I've been staying at a friend's house, and between the house and my minivan. So yeah, my friend's place and minivan. So yeah. So yeah, so you're still trying to figure out, 51 years old, what in the heck am I doing with my life, type deal. So, So
and I think that's and I'm sure you've seen this in the comment section of your videos, like you being willing to put that out there. There'll be a lot of people who'll be like, once I get it figured out, I'll make videos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like once I get it figured out, I'll put it out there. But for you to be like, you know what? Hey, I'm just gonna make the videos. I'm gonna do the channel. We're gonna figure this out together. I know you've probably seen, and maybe there's some people who don't comment, but there are people who I guarantee are tapped into that and like, okay, I'm not the only one. You know what I mean? I feel like there's so many things in life we feel like we're the only one, or we're weird because but like, I love the internet because you can share that, and then there will be people who are just like, thank you. Like it's not just me. I'm not
because a lot of times, a lot of people only show the wonderful and the magnificent, and how you have to spend thousands of dollars on all kind of stuff. And I'm going there. I've got like $10 in my bank account. That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna be on my channel. I'm sorry, but
and I feel like there's way more people. That's what's so funny. Like you do get a lot of people who only want to show, the glitz and the glamour, even if they're faking it. But there's way more people who are living just the regular, genuine lives. So like that's what it's just weird to me that on the internet it ends up looking a lot of times like everybody's perfect, but like honestly, most of us aren't living. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just I wish more people. That's why I love to see whenever anyone's just genuinely putting their story out there. Because like I
Mhm.
wish more people did that. Because that's what we
Yeah.
need
I'm
as people.
trying.
And I think about the kids growing up. You know, they've been on the internet their whole life. I want the kids growing up to like see real examples, so that when they get my age, I want them to know like, okay, it's okay to be a 42-year-old man, and if you want, not been married and not have kids and be working different jobs that may not pay tons of money just because you like doing it. I think about the kids a lot, and I'm like, I applaud anyone who's putting genuine content out there, not only for us adults, but for them to see, oh, this is possible. Like, this is, you don't have to live this way.
Right, right. Okay. So, do you think doing YouTube is helping you with your life, or is it some kind of like harder, or is it better, or what do you think?
1,000% better.
Yeah.
1,000% helping, making it better. I don't know what I would do with my time if I if I could, if I could, like, I don't know what we do. So it's I mean there's pros and cons, but the pros to me outweigh the cons, and like I said, just the interaction in the community. I
Yeah.
wouldn't give that up for. There's a lot that goes there's a lot that goes into YouTube, but the blessings I get just outweigh it a
Yeah.
hundred times.
Yeah. I know because when I'm not on here, it's me and my little dog. That's it. I'm like, the phone don't ring. The phone don't ring. The phone don't ring. And at least if I can go on a live stream or watch someone's video and comment, I'm interacting with somebody in one way or another. Because my phone don't ring barely ever. It's like ring, damn it.
Sitting there looking at it. Just today's the day.
it's, it's gonna ring any minute now. I'm telling you, it's gonna ring, but it never does.
Someone called me today. It's been a week. Someone's calling me today. Yeah. That's the beauty of the internet is for me, yeah, the interaction, and it's. I think there's energy exchange even when we're not actually there. So yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, YouTube has made my life so much better. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree too. I agree because if it wasn't for a lot of the people that watch my little channel, my van would probably be gone right now because I had help and support from people on here that helped me, encourage me not because I caught up. I caught up the place and was telling them, come and get the van because I can't fix it. And the people on here went, "Are you crazy? No, no, we're gonna help you. No, stop it." And I'm like, "How are you guys gonna help me?" I don't. I didn't. I'm not on here for that. You know.
That's
Ray
what's
Murray. Wait, this is funny. This is funny too. They're all saying, "Hey, we better call Tina more." I'm just joking, you guys. I'm just joking. I'm just trying to think
You'll
of
get
stuff to say to him.
you're gonna get like 10 phone calls the next week. Your phone's gonna ring nonstop for about 3 days.
Oh my god. They're all gonna kick my butt when I get off of here.
Oh, we don't call you? So we don't call. Okay.
Yeah, they're all gonna, oh yeah, sure. All right. Okay. Now, you what are you doing, Rich?
Hmm?
Oh, the person that I'm staying with.
Oh,
Um,
I was
okay, you lived in a car for a while, right? How and did you? Now I'm all off my game here. Okay, how did you get into the car living? What happened in your life that you ended up doing that?
actually, I never really lived in my car. I just did some road tripping.
Oh, road tripping. Okay.
Yeah, I just did some
Yeah.
road tripping.
Okay.
I will admit that I took some liberties with some of the titles on some of those videos, so it might have seemed like I was living in my car. I'll admit that. But I never actually lived in my car. I was just road tripping, and hotels get expensive, so some of the nights I decided to just like sleep in my car. And then when I did the video, I was like, "How to live in a Toyota Prius for cheap" or something like that, so people think I lived in it.
Yeah, I
But
watched
I
that
actually never
video
did.
today. Yeah.
Yeah. That, yeah. When
Well,
I
I
was
was
like, well, if
checking
I
out your
made, if
playlist. I was checking out your playlist, and I'm like, he's got all kind of people showing about living in cars, and I'm like, but he only has one of him in it. I'm like, what's the deal?
I can tell you I'll tell you why I did that. There's a little YouTube secret. Everybody
Okay,
pull out a pen, take notes.
okay,
The algorithm likes when people like watch your video and then stay on YouTube.
uh-huh.
So if you make a playlist that just like has some of your videos but a bunch of other people's videos, it actually can help you because people might start with like I usually have my video first and then a bunch of other people's videos. So people might just like start with mine, but they
Mhm.
stay and watch all the other ones. And so
Oh,
that boosts that video in the algorithm because it was the first video. So I have a lot of playlists that are me sprinkled in there, but a bunch of other good videos because it helps you get more views on the initial video that started the playlist. It's a
oh,
little,
gotcha.
yeah. So I like,
That's a
plus like
good
it's
one.
easy
I
for,
didn't think about that. Okay, I didn't
yeah,
know.
somebody told me that. Like I was watching the video and I was like, ooh, plus it like, people can get bored just watching you like 10 videos. So like it helps to break up. Like if somebody's really interested in like living in a car, they get it from 5, 6 different people. They're more inclined
And
to
that
like
can
keep
actually
watching.
help other people too.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
good
and
idea.
it helps other people's videos. Yeah. It's a little trick that when I first heard it, I was like, I don't know if that's true, but I tried it and it's like helped my channel. So yeah, I some days when I have nothing else to do, I'll just make playlists.
Okay. Well,
You know,
see,
YouTube life.
I'll have to work
Hashtag
on
YouTube
that.
life.
See, cool.
See, I
And see,
gave you a little
I
nugget.
wasn't even
Okay.
trying to pick your brain. You just
You'll
gave
get
it
an
up.
invoice for that later. No,
Oh
that's
my god.
messing with
Okay.
you.
Um, would you ever do that again? Would you ever try and road trip in a car or try and live longer in a car if you had to?
If I had to, yeah. If I didn't know, because like I was in a Prius and I could stretch out in it, oddly enough. But like that road trip and those nights I did spend in my car gave me like a newfound appreciation for anyone who lives in their vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
and it like really opened my eyes to what if like someone's doing it involuntarily? You know, like all the people who are living in their car because they have to, and
Yeah.
it really made me just like be like, wow, like because it's tough. You know what I mean? Like you know way more. You know what I mean? Like it's tough, and I think a lot of people don't. You might look at it and be like, oh, that's rough. I'm glad, but like just like figuring out a place to sleep, and then it's like I wake up in the middle of the night and I have to boo boo. Where do I go? You know what I mean? Like all the just all the how do I like one that was big for me is like okay, I want to change clothes in the morning. I can't do it laying down in the. You know what I mean? Like it's like where do I go to change clothes? Like
Gas station.
little stuff like yeah, but it's like do I walk in there with my bag of clothes? You know, it's just all this the little things. Like you think about the big, but I was like, man, like this is hard living, and that's why I was that was kind of what inspired me to do the video about 25 places to sleep in your car because I'm like, I remember just like driving around through where was I think it was a Flagstaff one time, and I was like, I
Oh,
need somewhere safe to park for the night, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I was, and I was like, I don't want to park at the right. You know what I mean? Like, but my hat goes off to anybody doing that. You know what I mean? Because like it is hard. It's stressful. Like, and I only did this a few nights. So I'm like, man, if that's your reality, like, we need to do something better in this country about making sure everyone who has a house, who wants a house, has one. Like
yeah.
that really opened my eyes.
Well, I mean, I even went today and I went to the I'm in like Michigan in the lower part over by Metro Airport area, and I went to a city and I filled out the paperwork for to try and get in like low income type housing, and And then I went to another place and I read the reviews and it was all about bed bugs and roaches and all that gross stuff. And they're like, don't move here. And I'm like, Tina, no, minivan sounds way much better.
What does that say
Minivan
about the
sounds
state
so
of
much better. I'm sorry. Just to forget all that. I'm
what
too
does that
old
say
for all
about
that.
the state of affordable housing
Yes.
when someone's like, I think the minivan's better. Like, I just feel like we have it's you know what I mean? Like, who would have thought anyone would ever say? I promise you, 50 years ago, people never thought that would be a sentence in America. Or someone would be like, yeah, I looked into the affordable housing. I think my van's better. You know what I mean? Like, it's a problem here, ladies and gentlemen. We're dealing with, and I'm laughing, but I'm like, I mean, I just moved into this apartment, me and my roommate, and I love how like doing. That's why I love kind of like the life I live, where I'm kind of moving around doing different stuff because it allows me to like tap into like how different people live. And like it's been so I've been living in employee housing, at seasonal jobs, stuff like that. It's been a
Mhm.
while since I like had to actually rent something. It still got crazy out here. Like the security deposits are astronomical. Like they want all kinds of stuff from you, check stubs, bank statements,
Year
all this crazy
leases,
like
year leases,
yeah,
2 year
with your
leases.
lease, like I'm I see why we're having more and more people like living in vehicles, things of that nature. Like it's crazy. It wasn't like this like 10 years ago, last time I got an apartment. And I'm like, so I'm glad I got to experience it because I'm like, oh, I see, like what everybody's up in arms about. Like but the good news is this can't continue forever. Like eventually rent's gonna be so high, nobody's gonna be able to afford rent.
Yeah.
People just gonna start breaking into apartments. People are gonna
Do
come look at an
that.
apartment, pretend they want to rent it, they're just gonna break in that night and sleep there. Like it's just not. It's just gonna get there. Okay, I'm off on a tangent.
Squatters,
I'm sorry.
squatter rights, man. There is squatter rights.
I've heard, especially in like I was watching a documentary in like Detroit area. I
Yes,
think they're
yes.
very strict about squatters'
Well,
rights.
I was born and raised in Detroit.
Yeah, they're very, which I think is good. I mean, I think it's good. Like these days, I think it's good. Like let people squat, give people play, let people come on. People need places to stay. Like we like so we have these empty structures where people could stay and get in from the elements, but because they don't have access to this imaginary thing called money, we make them sleep outside on the sidewalk.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay,
And
sorry, I get on tangents.
and that's why I feel fortunate to have even what I got because it's better than that. It's better than being out on the curb and you really would lose all your stuff. All my albums and all my this and all my that would go right in the garbage can. Uh-oh, we lost them. Oh no, where'd he go? Uh-oh. Well, thank you, everyone. We're going to hang out here and hopefully he'll come back on. Oh, yep, there he is. Yeah, all right.
Hey, we're back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Oh, hold on. Let me see.
Okay, there you
What
are.
am I doing?
I got you.
Wait, no.
Oh,
Wait, there we go. Okay,
okay,
there.
cool. Yeah,
You see me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, can you see
Can
me
everybody
now?
hear him? Do a test.
Testing, testing. Yes, no.
I can hear you. I don't know
Okay.
about everybody else, but no one else is answering me.
My my Bluetooth headset went out for some reason, and it killed the whole stream.
Oh, okay. All righty.
I got
So
to I got to get some better headphones in future.
so let's talk about the traveling. How did you get turned on to the traveling? Did you get to do it as a kid with your family, or did you just have the travel bug later in life?
I
Or
think
how did that all happen?
we didn't travel much growing up. I think we went to a couple places when I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
but I just got to that place where I kind of wanted something different in life, and I've never really thought about travel, but it just kind of like popped in my head. That's what I'm always saying, that I think like if you take the time to listen, the universe will tell you what you need to, it'll give you what you need. It'll answer your question. So when I was, 34, 35, trying to figure out what I really wanted to do, travel just kind of popped in my head. I was like, you know what? I want to see some. I've been in Florida most of my life. I've been in Florida and Georgia like pretty much my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I kind of want to see some more of the country. Like America's huge. I hadn't seen 2 states in the Southeast. And that's when I, looked into traveling with no money, and I realized quickly that no money's subjective, because there was a lot of people who were like, oh, I had no money. I only had 30 grand in the bank when I started traveling. And I'm like, no, I don't need that no money travel. I need that real $800.
No
And, like, I need that. I need that no money.
I did it door dashing.
Yeah. I'm so hyped that now you can travel the country and do these gig jobs. That is so.
Yeah, but it kills your van. It will kill your car. Trust me.
Yeah, but it's an option. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's an option for a lot of people who couldn't do it before. That's an option. But I discovered seasonal work, and so basically, seasonal work is when you get to go work at. I worked at national parks, ski resorts, little roadside motels, hotels, basically touristy places that don't have enough locals to fill the jobs. Any city that in the summertime or the wintertime gets inundated with guests and tourists, a lot of times they're going to be in places where you don't have enough locals who want to work there. So they have to hire people from across the country and across the world. Did not know that till I got there. And people from China and Thailand and Turkey and Russia started showing up. I'm like, oh, this is cool. But what sealed it for me was that they give you housing, because they have to, because you ain't going to be able to go there and get an apartment. And a lot of them provide 3 meals a day. So it was like my first job was Yellowstone National. Coolworks.com. Coolworks.com. Like it was, and honestly, once again, another sidebar. I have reached out to some of the chairmen and the CEOs and directors at some of the seasonal places I worked, and I said we need to find a way to like get in touch with maybe some of the homeless shelters in the areas. It's a good way to, get some, and you do the background check and you get people who, think it would work for, people who are at the right place in their life for it. But like, I think it would be a great way to help with the homeless situation. I worked at some seasonal places. They have an 8-month contract. 8 months is enough time for a person to work, de-stress, save money, to be able to go back in the world, out into the real world if they want to. So I've been trying to get that going, but I think it's one of those things. It's like, it's a great ideal, but who would be the first person to do it? But yeah, see, I just started seasonal jobs. I'd show up somewhere. First job was Yellowstone. They gave me a room. I had a roommate, but gave me a room. If you get a good roommate, it's great. People are always like, how could you as an adult share a room with another grown man? And I was like, when you get a bad roommate, it's awkward. But when you get a good roommate, like, especially for me, I'm an introvert. There's rarely anybody in my life, if I'm not dating. I kind of got to the point where it was cool that I knew, like, someone was checking for me. You come home after work, your roommate's there. Hey, how was work? If I don't show up one night, he's like, where's Tim at? You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't that bad. And, 3 meals a day, you just go in the employee dining room.
Exactly. That sounds like a great deal.
And you're like, I was at Yellowstone National Park. Like, people travel all over the world, spend thousands of dollars to come here. Worked at Glacier National Park, outside of Rocky Mountain National Park. I spent a summer in Alaska. Like, that was the big one. Like, I got to spend 4 months in Alaska. You know how much people pay to go to Alaska for a week? Like, I got to go to Alaska for a whole summer, and I left with more money than I came with.
Oh my God.
And I was still drinking at the time, so I was blowing money. But I left with more money than I came with. I got to spend a summer in Alaska, saw the Northern Lights, like, just all this cool stuff. And, it really didn't cost me anything but work. And that was something I would have done anyway. Right. So, like, that really had a profound, like, change, it really changed my life. I always talk about the website, coolworks.com, There are actually some really cool people work there. We've had communication. They send me free stuff from time to time. But to this day, there's thousands of jobs like that available. And I just don't think a lot of people know about them.
Right.
And it literally changed my life. Like, it totally changed the trajectory. Did I say that right? Trajectory of my life. So that's why I'm always talking about it, because that's how I was able to travel. Between that and kind of, YouTube picking up a little, was able to save enough money to go overseas a couple times. Like, it was, yeah. So like it's seasonal work has been wonderful.
Yeah. But see, I would love to be able to do that too, like work at a campground and all that. But then you got to think, well, I've got other bills besides the housing. So if I'm not able to go out and work a little bit to be able to get those other bills paid, then, it's going to
But I
kind of
mean,
mess.
they pay you. They pay you at a seasonal job.
Okay.
Yeah, they pay you.
Well,
I mean, it varies.
I was looking like at campgrounds and stuff, like to be like a work camper or whatever. So
No, they actually have those same jobs but paid. Like, I know people who've been campground hosts and got paid. Yeah. That's what I like about CoolWorks. All the jobs are paid on CoolWorks. Like, work camping and woofing. I mean, it's cool, but I actually woofed once, But the thing I love about CoolWorks is, because we still got bills. Some people can go do it and not need money, but like, honestly, one of the second highest jobs I've ever had was a seasonal job.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them you're going to be probably in the $9 to $12 range. But when the housing is usually like $10 a day. Meals are, I think the most I ever paid, typically it's probably around $12 a day for room and board, and they take that out your check. So like, you don't have those expenses. So all the money you get, I think I did a video when I was at Glacier. I think I made, when it was all said and done, I think my check every 2 weeks was like, what was my check every 2 weeks? I think it was like $480 or something every 2 weeks. And I was able to put $250 in the bank. So every month I was there, I was able to save $500. So if you worked the whole summer, you could leave with like $2,000, and that's with, housing, food, and taking a couple $100 out of every check to pay my other bills. So like, it's a good way to take some time and have and the feeling of just like de-stressing you get, knowing you have a place to stay and food to eat for 4 months is the beauty of it. Like, I know some people who show up to seasonal jobs, no money. Like, they show up like nothing. Like, hey, can you loan me $20 to get on the bus and get there?
Exactly.
And just like they get there, and it's just like, because it's just like, I'm gonna get a check, I'm gonna be fed, I'm gonna have a place to stay, and it's just, and you're in like a wonderful, amazing place. So like, that's why I'm always talking about it.
I would be in fifth heaven. I would be like, I'm here.
You gotta look into it, Tina. I'm telling you. And there's seasonal jobs all over the country. It's all every state. Yeah, coolworks.com. I promise you'll get on. It's funny. Me and my roommate talk about this a lot. Even when we're like we are now, and we're just kind of like in the Denver area, probably not going to do a seasonal job this year. I still get on CoolWorks just for fun, just because I'm so like, I don't want to say addicted. I'm so like used to looking up jobs and seeing all the cool jobs, and like, you'll get on there and you're like, dang, I could spend a summer in Maine. Like, or I could go work on a ranch in Texas. It's so many different jobs on there. I say to you and like anybody watching who it sounds good, just go to coolworks.com, check it out. It's free. It's free. There's no like $9 charge. It's totally free.
I know. KOA here, to work at their place, you have to pay $50 to $100 to join them, to be a worker for them, and I'm like, what?
I'm like, did I get that 50 back?
Yeah, you have to pay them.
That's no,
I'm like,
I
no.
personally know of some people who've worked at campgrounds
Uh-huh.
and got paid. Like, yeah, there was no paying them in. Like, you just go there. It's like a regular job,
I
you
will
know. So
send
yeah, check it
you.
out.
I
Cool.
will. I will send you that little. I will screenshot it for you and send it to you and show you. I'm not bullcrapping because I was
Oh, I
like,
believe you.
you have to have a subscription. You have to be in their database, and you have to pay them $50 to $100 or some crap. I'm like, oh no,
No, I don't like the idea of me having to pay you to come work
to
for
work.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
pay to
seems
play.
backwards.
It's almost like a band that has to sell their tickets before they can get on the show. So you have to pay. You have to pay the campground in order to possibly get to work for them. It's like
Heck no.
what?
Check out Coolworks. Everything's free.
Okay, cool. I will definitely do that, and I already posted it up on the in the chat. Everybody's really enjoying this, and we're so glad that you agreed to come on. This is awesome.
I'm having a blast too. I did. This is fun. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so since you love well, that was the other question. How did you get turned on to the national parks? And do you remember your first one? And do you have a favorite?
Oh, okay. I got turned on because I hopped on Coolworks. Actually, that guy Wayne had mentioned he was working at Yellowstone.
Hmm.
So I hopped on there. Actually, he sent me to another website, but it was crap. So I Googled sites like that when the Coolworks popped up. And so he'd been talking about national parks. So I just like went to like, I think they have a national park section. And there was like, I don't know how many pulled up. And I heard of Yellowstone, so I applied there. I applied to like five of them.
Hmm.
And honestly, I forgot about it for about a month. And then all five of them like emailed me back in like the same week. And it like blew my mind. I remember telling my girlfriend at the time, I was like, they all called back. She's like, what are you talking about? Because I hadn't really told anybody. You know, late night, you do some stuff, you'll tell nobody. I was like, I'm going to apply for national park jobs. I didn't really told
You
nobody. I'm
sure
like,
are
they
going
all
to answer
emailed
me.
me. I was like, they all called back. So, and then it was like, and this happens a lot in seasonal work. I was talking to a guy about this the other day. I did the interviews, so the phone interview, super easy. And so like all of them wanted to hire me. And then I was like, well, all the pay was about the same. It's kind of the same deal at most of them. And I'm like, I don't know where to, I spent like a week going back and forth. Actually, I think I accepted two of them. I
Uh-huh.
said, yeah, I'll come work for you for Yellowstone and another one. And then I had to like do that awkward email of like, hey, I can't. But yeah, my first one was Yellowstone, and I picked it because I'd heard of it. There's
Hmm.
tons of national parks in the country that no one's ever heard of. And Yellowstone, I was like, okay, I've heard of that. And they put me at the Old Faithful Inn, which is like literally you can look out the window and see Old Faithful erupt. So I thought that would be cool. I was like,
Oh
oh,
wow.
it's like a historic hotel. It was like it's right by
Uh-huh.
Old Faithful. So I went there, and it was like I literally have seen Old Faithful go off so many times. It's still cool. The really fun part is when you're like somewhere in the hotel and you can't see, but you hear it go off because 1,000 people go, oh, at like one
Oh
time.
wow.
So you're like, oh, Old Faithful's going on. So Yellowstone was amazing, just being by the geyser basin and getting off work every day and just the national parks are great because there's this vibe that
Hmm.
comes from working around thousands of people on vacation at a national park.
Oh yeah.
It's always cool being around people on vacation, but you're around people who appreciate nature and they're awed by it, and I'm the same way. So there's just this feeling you get. It's almost like a sense of like being in your community, working at a national park, and most of the employees who work there, and most of them, some of them, the Grand Canyon was a little different. The vibe was a little different at the Grand Canyon, but
I watched that yesterday.
I don't know what that was, but you're just working with hundreds, of other travelers and nomads, and like I said, kids from across the world who are just so happy to be in America, like for the first time, like it's a major trip for them. It's just really cool. So yeah, Yellowstone was my first one. Been to a couple others. I try not to do favorites on anything in life because I think we have such a rich smorgasbord of choices. Smorgasbord of choices. Trying to sound
Mhm.
intelligent there. But I gotta say, as far as like the sights,
Uh-huh.
Glacier probably takes the award. As far as like all inspiring beauty, Glacier is like hands down. Like it,
Okay.
I kicked myself because when I was leaving the trip out, I saw so many things I didn't get a chance to experience while I was there. Glacier's just
Was was
Glacier's.
was that the last one you worked at where you were so mad because you were working so many long hours that you didn't get to see anything?
No, that was Grand Canyon. That was Grand
Okay,
Canyon.
Canyon, okay.
Yeah. That was another reason Grand Canyon. Yeah, I was working too many hours. The vibe was weird. But no, Glacier. I honestly, it was still kind of early in my seasonal work journey, and so I just wasn't as outgoing. And like now, I'm like, where's the nearest hike at? Where's the nearest park at? Then I just kind of was still a little, I just kind of went on a couple hikes. But if I was to do it over again, I'd be every chance I got, I'd be on a new trail, new hike, new waterfall, new mountain. Like Glacier
Now,
is
see, I love all
amazing.
that stuff too. So it's like watching you and Aja from Pandemonium and Curious Carly and all those people. You guys all were going on. Like, I want to go too. I want to go. There's people that go. I want to go too, and I'm writing down all the places that you guys are going to, and I'm going. I'm gonna go. And then I started, you know, from getting addicted to all this stuff when I first started it all. And I'm like, okay, minivan. I would be following people in minivans and just watching them drive. I'm like, Tina, I'm like, you're insane. You're insane. So I traded my little Kia in and I got my minivan. And then within 6, 7 months, I lost my trailer. I'm like, oh
Oh,
no. And I was just going to do the camping, like part time and all that, and learn because I didn't even have a camping stove when all this happened to me. And so I just got thrown into it and had to hurry up and learn from it and go, okay, well, I guess we're doing this now. So, yeah. But yeah, the national parks, I was like, because, growing up in Detroit, all you know is your little city parks. You don't know nothing about going anywhere. What do you mean national parks? I mean, I love going to parks and going for walks. I've always loved that. And I'm like, national parks? You mean I can? And then I found out that there's like two or three in Michigan. And I'm like, what? And in Ohio and this and that. And I'm like, okay, sign me up. I got,
I
I
feel
got,
like
I got about $30 of gas. I'm going to go to Ohio.
I feel like every
I'm gonna throw my twin size mattress in the back of this minivan and hit the road.
hey,
See
hey,
y'all
we'll get there
people.
somehow.
I'm going to a national park. And last year I saw 10 of them.
Nice,
10 of them.
nice,
So
nice.
do you
Which
have
one?
the? Huh? Go ahead.
Which one's your favorite?
I haven't been to my favorite yet. I want to go
Oh,
to the Smoky Mountains.
okay, okay.
Yeah, I want to go to the Smoky Mountains, and I want to go to those ones that you guys all talk about on the West Coast. You know, like where you're at now in Colorado and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so if you start seeing me get beyond Illinois, then you know you're hit.
She's coming. She's coming.
Oh shit! Here comes Tina.
Tina's coming. Get ready.
She's got
Tina's
she's
coming.
got
Get
three
ready.
cameras on us. She's got three cameras on us. We're doomed.
Hey, do it. Film everything. That's my. That's what I tell everybody. Film everything.
Oh, all right, awesome. Okay, so what excites you the most about traveling? Are you a planned traveler or the opposite?
um, I think for me it's just new stuff. New experiences, new people, new architecture, new weather. I just love I don't do stale well. When I figure something out and I know an area, like it's just I like new. You know what I mean? Like, I just like I need new stuff. So that's what travel. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know something different and new is going to happen.
Right.
I just love that idea of going into like the unknown. Um, I said like I'm kind of a I'll plan like okay I'm going to go here unless I'm road tripping. Sometimes road tripping I just go where I go. But
Mm-hmm.
I plan okay I want to go here, but I don't really plan anything while I'm there. So I like to just like you know what I'm gonna go. A trip I got to do this year is like New Orleans. I've never been to New Orleans,
Oh,
so I'm
okay.
like I'll book the flight and maybe Airbnb. What will I do when I get there? No clue. I just love to wake up in the morning and grab a coffee and just be somewhere new and like have to figure the day out. So I kind of plan like that, but
Mm-hmm.
I like, and I'm even like that. Sometimes I'm sure of the moment. Like it might be, I just wake up one day and be like, all right, next week I'm going. So I
Yeah.
like to keep it pretty up in the air because
Mm-hmm.
it's just more spontaneous, more fun when I do it that way.
That's kind of what I did last year. I didn't expect to be staying like over a month in Florida. I didn't expect I had the choice when I got in North Carolina when our YouTube meetup was over to either come back north or go south and I went south. And just like okay I'm just doing this, I'm just gonna try it out. And I went, I saw South Carolina, I never saw before. I saw Georgia, I never really saw before, only as a I was going to Florida back in 85 and we had the layover in Georgia. That's about as much as
Hmm.
I saw in Georgia. so
Yeah.
so I was able to go to a national park in Georgia, so that was cool. And then I stayed in Florida, but I stayed in Florida for a month, and I was and I slept in Walmart parking lots. Yeah, and I worked. I did the DoorDash thing. That's it's the only way I was able to afford it. I paid my bills and had food and had gas and just did what you got to do, and that was it.
And that's like like I feel like for a traveler like me, like that's an amazing experience. You know what I mean? To just be like, oh, I'm gonna go, spend a month in Florida.
Yeah,
Just did it. It's like it's that's what I love is like the just like 2 months from now you could be doing something you don't even know you're going to be doing. You know what I mean?
right.
It's just like that freedom to kind of just make decisions like that, make it
Hmm.
work, and then when the time's up, you go somewhere else. Like a lot of people will never be able to experience that. With
Right.
the highs and the lows that come with it. Like a lot of
Hmm.
people they just never do. So like I love stories like that. Like it's just
Oh yeah,
yeah.
and it was just like Forrest Gump in the movie where he was like, he stopped running and he was like, I think I'll go home now. And that's and that's exactly what it was like for me. I was like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm going back to Michigan. And within a day or two, I was heading back towards Michigan. And everybody was like, you're crazy. It's December. It's December 5th, and you're going back to Michigan. And I'm like, I've been here since October 31st. I'm tired of sleeping in Walmart parking lots and not talking to really anybody. At the time I didn't know no one to talk to. So,
How
so
are the
yeah,
WalMarts down there?
Lutz, Florida, and Hudson, Florida. Those are the
Okay,
ones I
okay.
stayed at, and I get to meet where's Tiffany, at her one meetup, out in Tampa,
Oh,
and I
nice,
got to go to a
nice,
tiny house. Got to go to a tiny house festival, so that was cool.
nice.
So yeah,
See, all these experiences, I love it. I
yeah,
love it. Just stuff that you don't know is gonna happen happens. I love it.
yeah. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go down there because she says she's gonna be in Tampa. I'm like, November 6th. Okay, I can be down there by then. Let's
That
see. Our
freedom.
meet our North Carolina meetup ends like around the 17th or something of October. Yeah, I can be down there by the. Yeah, I can do it. That's what I did. People are like, "Where are you? What are you doing?"
I love
What
my
do you
friend,
mean
like
you're
my
in
friends have
Florida?
got some of my friends back home from when I was younger. When they call me, we talk sometimes. That's their first question. They're like, "Where are you at right now?" I love that. I love them because or they'll think they know where I'm at. They're like, "Oh, you're still in so and so," and they're like 3 states behind or something. They're like, "You still there?" I'm like, "Nah, I ain't been there in
Right.
about a year."
It's like catch up on my channel.
Yeah, I'm like, "You don't watch my YouTube channel?" They're like, "No, we don't." We don't. No. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, but
Yes.
I love that being no one knowing where you're at half the time.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm coming towards the end of my questions. Yeah. But that motivational stuff, I mean, were you always that uplifting and wonderful type deal?
I've always been
And the
wonderful. Yes.
hiking
No,
stuff, and it's like, oh my god, I wish I could get some of his energy and be his, like woohoo, I don't. Sometimes I get it, like I don't care, I'm just gonna do it anyway. And then sometimes that other part of me goes, Tina, be real. You got
so,
$5 in your bank account. You ain't going nowhere. You can go around the block.
once. No, no. That's one of those. I don't. If you'd ever told me that I would be making like motivational content, I would have been like, "What?" Like it just kind of, I kind of just like start talking about it, and it like, people kind of, seem to enjoy watching it. You know what I mean? So I was just like, well, I'll keep making it. And then like, and this is what I'm always telling people, like, if you feel like maybe something you want to do, or maybe it seems like it's working for you, go for it. You know what I mean? Yeah, just go for it. Because like if you'd ever, I would have never been like, and even sometimes to this day, I'm like, Tim, you ain't qualified to be talking like this. Like, what do you know? But like, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, you go for it, you try it. I'm like, hey, I think I'm kind of decent at this. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, and that's another one of those things that like sometimes I feel like when you go for it, you find your passions. And then when we find our passions, that's when we're at our best to like helping others and giving back is when you're in tune with your passion. Then it all comes together. So like it just kind of came together, and I had to, kind of swallow those insecurities and, do more of it. And like, it just, blossomed into the kind of what it is now. But yeah, I would have never, and it's funny, like I tell people, in real life, you never catch me talking about anything motivational. Like like if all the stuff I talk about on the internet, if you were to meet, like if you met me and like we know, like and we have discuss. Okay, but like people who just meet me, it's just not. I do a lot of listening and but like I don't know. It's almost all on the internet. It's like an alter ego. I can go into it, but it just kind of, the universe kind of pushed me in that direction. I guess, so we're here.
Well, I mean, I'm listening. It's cool though. I mean, and to see you, going on these hikes and talking and saying, "Well, I can do it," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do." And
Yeah.
also in the next video, I tell everybody, "Guess where I'm at? Guess what I'm doing?" So yeah, I mean, it does help because sometimes, I'll get really depressed and really hard on myself. And then, like my one friend Falani, she's always trying to, okay, Tina, just keep it stepping. She just told me, keep it stepping, just keep it stepping, just keep going. And so now when sometimes you'll hear me on the video just say, just keep on stepping, Tina, keep on stepping. Put one foot in front of the other.
Whatever you got to sing to yourself.
Sometimes you got to. Sometimes you just have to do all that just to, it's like, ugh. So yeah. So I really, really appreciate this, and this was just really amazing. And is there anything that you want to mention on here that I wouldn't know to talk about or to even ask you? And is there anything you want to say to these people on here that are watching you?
I want to say thanks for watching. First off, hi, nice to meet y'all. Thanks for watching. Appreciate I'm feeling the love. I'm feeling the energy. And a big thank you to you, Tina, for having me on here. Like I said, this was when you asked, and you actually messaged me on Instagram, and I knew you were serious. Like I was like, I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be fun. I just already did. I just do it.
Yeah.
Then I checked your channel out, so I was like, yeah, this will be fun. So thank you for having me on. You did send the link to the channel. I'm joking. I'm joking. I think we're good. No, I'm joking. No. I think we covered, pretty much all the stuff. Honestly, anybody who the stuff I said about seasonal work, if it resonated with you at all, or even just kind of made you just piqued your interest at all, please go check out Cool Works. Like that would be my main, like seasonal work can be life changing. So like that's one of the big things I like to talk about. So yeah, check that out.
Do they like to hire older people, or do they only hire the 20 and the 30-year-olds?
Honestly, they get a lot of 20 somethings. So they like to get someone older because there's lots of positions that like you might be like, hey, I'm older, I may not want to work as physical. There's lots of positions that aren't as physically demanding, and they like to have people with a little experience on them because a lot of these kids, it's like their first job. So even if they're like good kids, they don't really know about work. Yeah, they still don't know how to work. Like it's the first job. So like they like to get people who've had an employment history. No, like if you're older, they know you're going to show up. You're going to do your job. You're not here for no craziness. The kids can get a little wild in employee housing. Sometimes they like to have a dorm that's just adults grown up. So yes, they do hire people 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. When I worked at the YMCA of the Rockies, it's like the biggest YMCA in the world. It's like 200 acres or something. They have a lot of people, 50s and 60s, who come back every year. A lot of them volunteer, but they're paid positions too. But a lot of them come back every year, so they got a nice community of kind of more experienced, more wise people up there. So yeah, they hire all age ranges.
That's cool. So since you left that one job recently, what are you doing now?
Mainly just like YouTube.
Yeah.
I was getting settled in and situated and getting the apartment. There's so many hoops you got to jump through to get an apartment. So getting all that done. So mainly just like my online stuff, and I want to
remote work. Have you ever done any remote work?
Like, no, I haven't.
No,
I haven't. That's one thing I want to look into. I did like some stuff, but it was just like I did like some transcription work for like a week one time, just to see what it was, and that was way too detailed for me. I said I don't know what these words are, let alone how to spell them. But I not really. So I just kind of want to get my YouTube to the place I think I can get it to, and then maybe incorporate some other stuff. But I know me, I might take a job for a couple weeks or something. Sometimes, I mean, there's so many places hiring in Denver in this area that I know me. One of these, I might take a job at a hotel, scrubbing toilets for a couple weeks just to get out the house. Yeah, it's great resignation. So everybody's hiring. So
and
every now and then,
quiet quitting.
I tell you, that's all I need is.
But I'm telling you, we've always been. Quiet quitting. They just put a name on that recently, apparently, because I've done that crap for years. and it didn't have a name on it. I mean, I would just get a job, and I'm like, I hate the job. I mean, it would be those labor intensive where you'd try and be packing stuff like Laverne and Shirley or somebody, or I Love Lucy. I quit. I don't know how many jobs I quit on my birthday to give myself a birthday present and just walk the hell out.
I like that. Putting on your. Oh, I like that. I'm stealing that. I'm gonna use that. I'm using that. I'll give you credit. I'm gonna use that. Like, hey, put on your birthday. Give yourself a birthday present. I like. That's good. I like that. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's
I've done that a lot of times. I'm like, quiet quitting. What the hell is that? I'm like, shit, I did that for you.
that's
I
you
know
take
what
something
they're
old, you
talking
put a new
about.
name to it.
I know it. It's
That's
like, I'm like,
yeah
it never
yeah.
had a name before. I'm like, boy, these youngins don't know nothing.
They're like, damn, this is new. I gotta try this. Quiet quitting. Yeah, that's it. You take an old game and put a new name on it, new spin on
Yes.
it. Like
Whatever floats their boat.
they think it's new.
Yep. Oh my God, this was wonderful. I'm so glad you came on. It really made my day. It made me feel a whole lot better.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. And once again, seriously, like, thank you for having me. It's I enjoy. Like, this is fun
Oh,
for me. So yeah. Thank you so much, and I appreciate people tuning in
hmm
and paying attention, and hopefully having a little chuckle or two.
oh yeah.
So
And if you ever get bored, you want to come over and watch a couple of videos of mine, and that'd be awesome too.
I told you I checked you out yesterday. I'm subscribed.
Okay,
I'm
cool. Thank you.
subscribed. We're on the journey. We're on the Tuna
Okay.
the Outsider journey now.
All right. Well,
We're
thank
on
you
the journey.
so
We're
much.
part of the tribe.
All
So
right.
yeah.
And I now, so now you're on my list to meet.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
See, like people always want to do like a meetup, and I'm like, I'm such an introvert. But
Well,
if I
me
have something like
too.
this,
But you know
something
what?
like
It it just kind of makes it more real for me. Like, I mean, I know this is really real, but also just to be able to say hi and to give you a hug and take a picture and talk with you, like have a cup of coffee or something, that would, that just easy stuff. Because I mean, Tina the outsider means I really don't fit in with a whole lot of people. I don't really have a lot to talk about. It's just like, you know, I work, I eat, I take the dog for a walk, I go for a walk. If I get to go to a park or whatever, I go to a park, and that's it. I don't have this wonderful, exciting, oh, I went to the casino, or I went here, I went there, I do this, or I do. No, I'm really simple. Except, YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube, and either I would go to shows or watch movies or whatever, but kind of what's going on today, you don't get to do a lot of that.
yeah. Which I was saying, like, it feels like we know each other now. So
Yeah.
like, yeah,
That's
when we meet,
awesome. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
it
cool.
won't be awkward because it's like we know each other
Right,
now. We see each other.
exactly.
Ah,
Yes.
like, oh, yeah. We
That'd
definitely
be
have to
so
meet. We definitely have to
cool.
meet up.
Yeah, that'll be awesome because that kind of it just it it makes me feel like I'm not so alone type
Yeah.
of deal, if you know what I mean.
No, I
Because
know. I spend a lot of time alone, so I get it. Yeah.
yeah, but sometimes alone is good because then you don't have to explain everything to everybody. It's like, I'm doing my thing, you're doing your thing, okay, cool. Like there's a lot of us that are introverts and or shy, or just like the little job I have now. I won't even not even worth even talking about. But the boss, when she did my 30-day review, she says, you're very shy. And then people on here would be like, no, she ain't. No, she ain't shy.
Yeah.
She just asked one of the biggest YouTubers to be on her channel. How is she shy? So yeah, but in person, it's like a totally different, like you get like, oh crap. Now they're, like I really don't have all the wheels and the whistles and really fancy computers and blah blah blah. I'm scraping by. As you could tell, I'm using the same camera from the laptop. My laptop's actually working. Thank you, Lord.
Hmm.
Laptop's actually working right now. Because if not, I would have been on my cell phone, and that would have been a disaster sometimes. So yeah. So okay,
Hey, it all works out.
it was really, really amazing. Thank you.
It was. It
Really
was.
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
this is good. This is good. We gotta stay in touch. Stay in
Oh
contact.
yeah, I'll send you my my number or whatever if you ever want to say hi or whatever, or Zoom call or whatever, or
Okay. Yeah.
Instagram
Yeah. Yeah.
Instagram live chat, whatever. Type deal.
Yeah. Sounds
Just
good.
me and
Sounds
you.
good.
Just between me and you. See,
Gotcha.
the words are not gonna. I mean, I'm already like I don't even. My tongue's getting tied, and I don't know what to say, and I'm like sweating. So yeah, it's like
Oh
I
man,
don't
this
know
is
what
fun.
to
This is fun.
do. It's like I don't want to let you go, but I gotta let you go because it's like it'd be crazy because once it'll end, I'll have like all these questions in my head, and I'd be like, ah, he's gone.
I'm like, too late. Too late. I'm done. No, I'm done.
So yeah, if you guys please go check out some of his videos or how many videos or whatever. He is really amazing, and I've watched him on and off for a couple years, and and that's why I was like, man, because if you're feeling really bad and depressed, he will cheer you up, and I try and get in there and I try and cheer people up too when I can. When I can. Sometimes I need some cheered up. So yeah. Oh,
Appreciate that.
thank you,
Appreciate that.
thank you. I really appreciate it. I don't want to take up all your time, but yeah, I do. I
No, it's all good. It's all good.
All
This is
right.
amazing. Yeah.
Oh, this has been awesome. So I really, really. Oh, everybody's saying we don't care what equipment you use, Tina. Oh, haha, we love you. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Huh. Mm-hmm. No.
But y'all don't call her though. I'm joking.
Yeah. Yeah, my phone's gonna start ringing like crazy. My four people who know my number. All right. Well, if you
Oh
can
man.
spread the word and like tell some people, and maybe they'll watch the live stream and maybe want to connect with me too, if you can.
I definitely will. I definitely will. Yeah, 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 yeah. I definitely will.
All right. Well, thank you. I'm gonna get off of here, and I hope everybody has a really good night. And thank you so much, Timothy, for taking some time out and saying hi and talking with us. It's really been amazing.
It has been. Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, I'm gonna talk with everybody later. Oh my God, wasn't that so cool? That was so cool. Oh my God, I'm so glad everybody got to. Can't even sock trait. What? We'll watch the replay, Tina. Oh yeah, it was amazing. I got to meet. I can't believe this. This was so awesome, people. Oh, thank you guys for all watching, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it. And because I sure did. It was just. I wish my camera was better. His camera was so nice and clear. My camera so foggy and outdated. But hey, we're here. We're here, right, people? We're here. Dream on Wheels is here. Miss Inconsistent. Oh my God. Thank you, everybody. Grand Marais, Linda, Captain Jack. Oh my God. It was just so amazing. And Todd Johnston. And just everybody. Everybody was been really cool. Janice came on here. Thank you. Thank you. I really, 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 really appreciate everybody. Lucky Dog Productions, Simply Sonora. Captain Jack, I'm going to kick your butt in 2 seconds. Unfreaking real, dude. Come on now. Payback. Payback, dude. Payback. actually, if you go on my Facebook, you can probably find it. Yeah, I can't seem to get it off of there. No. But hey, you guys start checking out my Instagram and the Facebook page too, and my community tab page. And if you guys can like this and maybe spread the word, help spreading the word, because I'm trying. I just don't have all the big fancy equipment and stuff, but I'm trying, and the van is now back together. So I really appreciate that everyone was on, and I'm still shaking. I'm still shaking in my boots, and I know that there's a delay. And I'm sorry. My computer is actually working for a second, which is amazing. I took all my videos and pictures and stuff off of it. So, yeah. It'll be good rewatching this live. Oh, Miss Inconsistent, thank you for coming on. Thank you, everybody, for coming on. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, too, because it was so much fun. It was so much fun. Okay. Woo. I'm sweating in an ice cold room. What does that mean? I'm nervous. I was so nervous. Oh my god, I was so nervous. And then it was crazy because he was answering a whole bunch of the questions that I had questions for. I'm like, oh no, wait a minute. So yeah, keep it moving. Yeah, keep it stepping. Keep it moving. Keep it stepping. Yeah, that's my motto. You know how everybody's got keep on trucking and all that. I got keep on stepping. Keep on stepping. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Because you'll get it there some way. You'll get there somehow. All right, everybody. Thank you. See you guys later. All right, have a good one. Have a good night. And if you can, watch some of the videos that you haven't seen. I'm trying, people. I'm trying. All right, you guys have a good night. Thank you. Bye.